Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliet. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how I made this lovely shift dress. If you're interested, please keep on watching. So here I have my fabric is folded into two using the hip measurement I'm working with divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. So here I added 1.5 for zip, which is not necessary. As you can see, the dress has a collar, so at this point I added the zip allowance, but I took that out at the end of the day and you will see. So what you should do is fold your fabric using the hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches for allowance, and then you place the two on top of each other. So here now I'm drawing a starting line at the top. From there I am going to be marking the length of the dress. So the length I'm working with is 38 inches. I added extra 2 inches to that for allowance. Next now I am marking the half length and then the hip line. I also marked the armhole, as you can see. Next now I'm marking half of the shoulder measurement all the way up, and then I'm using my ruler to connect. Next now I am marking 3 inches from the midpoint, and then on the armhole side I came down by half inch, and then I connected into a slant to form the shoulder slope, and then from there I got the midpoint of the armhole and I came in by half inch. I connected back to the shoulder and then I curved the rest of the armhole using my armhole curve. So it was at this point I realized that I didn't need a zip allowance for this dress, so I adjusted my front and back pieces to be the same. So here now I am marking quarter of the bust measurement I'm working with plus 1 inch of ease, and then here quarter of the waist measurement plus 1 inch of ease, and then I marked another 2 inches for seam allowance. So from the waistline now I am going to take it out to the hem of the dress. So what I'm going to do is just leave 2 inches for allowance on the down part and just connect both points like so. Next now on this down part I'm going to rule out the length all the way, and then I will come up by 3 inches, then make a curve to the midpoint like so. So after that it's time to mark the neckline. So I'm working with 2.5 inches for the neck width, and then the neck depth for the front is 3 inches. So 2.5 wide and then 3 inches deep for the front, and then 2.5 wide and 3 inches, no, 1 inch deep for the back. So on this hip line now I'm checking to be sure that I have more than the hip measurement that I am working with, and then I am cutting starting with the back neckline and then the armhole and then the sides, as you can see. Please give this video a like if you are still watching it. Thank you so much for the support. Next now I'm cutting out the front neckline. So this is it now. I have this piece of lace fabric here that we're going to be using for the front design. So I'm placing my front piece on top of it like so. We're going to mark to the waistline, that's the half length, and then from there we'll cut out the neckline exactly as it is, and then on the shoulder as well. So we'll measure 3 inches in from that point and stop there. Then I'm going to connect in form of a V to the half length. Next, now we're going to cut another strip, which we are going to pleat around this yoke piece. This is what it's going to look like. So next, now I have this piece. Now I folded one end and it's measuring 2.5 inches wide. After folding is 2.5, so we're going to pleat it around this piece like so, from one end all the way to the other end. Just big pleats, not so tight, depending on how you want it though. If you want it tighter, then you make the pleats a little smaller. After that, this is it. We are going to be sewing it on top of this front piece. So I'm using my pins to hold it together before sewing. That way it's going to be easier for me. We're going to go sew all the way like that. And then here I'm cutting this piece. We're going to use it for the belt, let's see, belt, the button hole, the button loops. Yeah. So I've folded in form of a bias and I cut out two inches each, and I have 5 of them, as you can see. So next, now I have cut out lining pieces for both the front and the back. So I'm going to be placing this lining piece now right sides together with the front piece, but it's going to have a slit at the front. So from there I measured 6 inches down. From the neckline I marked 6 inches down. From the shoulder is about 9 inches. So you can see that the midpoint of this front lining already has a crease, which is going to serve as a guide. So I'm making sure that it's matching the midpoint of the main fabric. Now we are going to cut out that space. Hmm. Next, now we are going to place that those loops made earlier. I left ½ inch at the top and then I pinned it. I'm just placing it on top of each other. You can pin it how you want it to appear at the end of the day. So after placing that one, I measured 1 inch and then I placed another one. And then I left 1 inch again and I placed another one again. So I'm leaving 1 inch in between each of the loops, as you can see. After that, now we are going to go sew. So place the lining over it. I had one more left, but I didn't place it at this point. We're going to go sew around that place like that in the V. So after sewing, this is what we have. So I'm going to go back and add the 5th loop at that place because the space there is too much. Next, we are joining the front and the back pieces together. So I'm placing the right side, the back piece and the front pieces right sides together, and then I will place the lining piece over the opposite sides, as you can see. Then we'll sew the shoulders, that way they are clean when we are done. After sewing the shoulder, this is what we have. Now it's time to join the front and the back pieces together. So we left 2 inches of allowance and we are going to use that 2 inches to sew the front and the back pieces together. So I marked the waistline and the hip line. So up here now I'm marking quarter of the bust plus 1, quarter of the waist plus 1, and then the hip as well. Just take it out like that. I'm going to do the same thing for this opposite side. Then we will take it to the machine and sew on those lines, and we'll be back. So after sewing, it's time to cut the collar. So I folded the neckline into two and I'm going to measure round, as you can see. Then we're going to use that measurement now to cut out the collar. I'm adding half inch to what I got from the neckline, and then the height of the collar is 2.5 inches. So I'm ruling out this piece. Now there are different ways of cutting out this collar. I will link another video down below. If you have enough fabric, you should do that. I got the midpoint of this collar, and then I went up by 1 inch on both the bottom line and the upper line, and then I connected to the middle, and I'm cutting out, as you can see. We're going to place this now on another piece and cut out a second one. Like I said, I'll link another video. If you have enough fabric, there's a better way of achieving this color. I will link it down below in the description box. After cutting the second piece, we are going to place them right sides together and then sew the sides and then the top using half inch. After that, this is what we have. We are going to go ahead now and join it to the neckline. I started on the inside, so we're going to sew it around the inside like so, after which we will fold the outer part and top stitch. So after sewing, we are going to turn it like so and then fold the raw edges in and sew all the way around again. This is what we have. After joining the collar, now it's time to cut the sleeve. I'm measuring around my armhole, as you can see. We're going to be using this measurement now to cut out the sleeve. Please give this video a like if you are enjoying it, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you. So for the sleeve now, the measurement we got from the armhole, we add 2 to that and put our fabric on fold. So here I have this fabric now. I went down by 4 inches and then I went in by 3, and I connected using an S curve, as you can see. Then I measure around the upper part to get the exact measurement we got on the armhole, and then I marked the sleeve round on this down part divided by 2. Now I am cutting out, as you can see. My sleeve is joined at the center, so I'm using that line as my folded end. Next, now I'm placing the sleeve on the second piece of fabric to cut the second sleeve, and then we'll go ahead and sew on that line, and then I'm repeating the same for this sleeve. Measure around until I get the measurement I got on the armhole, and then on this down part, the sleeve round measurement divided by 2. We're going to go sew that. Now here's another piece of lace fabric, so we are going to be using it for the lower part of the sleeve. I cut out 4 inches, which are still later reduced since the remaining fabric was not up to. So we're going to go now and join these two pieces of fabrics together and then fold one end to make it neat. After that, we will join the two pieces together. So I'm putting them right sides together, right sides of the lace to the right side of the main sleeve. So we're going to pleat in the excess and sew round, after which we'll join it to the dress and it is ready. I also went ahead to add cover buttons to the front part, as you can see, and that is it for how to make this beautiful shift dress. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends who might need it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.